You guys might not know YZY, but every player in the top 30 knows him. This is the guy that is like always in the top 15, top 10 on ladder with the Geralt the Witcher Steam profile picture. He's a Chinese player that used to be like a very religious, I want to say, Ruse one trick, but now has started playing like more and more different civilizations. The dude is actually legitimately very, very good. Like, he has a great understanding of win conditions, and he genuinely, like, I was surprised to not see him like play tournaments more often before. So this is gonna be like the first like time that we're actually gonna shed light on him, as he's gonna be facing off against SAS here now in the round of 32 in the EGC Masters Fall.
This should be an exciting game to watch. It's going to be on Frisian Marshes, where we start off with French versus Knights Templar. You know, I got to say, like, I know Templar is a variant of French, but I just don't view them that way. I still view them as their own unique identity almost. I don't really think it was an offshoot of French, but two French civs technically coming on this one. I've seen YZY a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely the most unique variant that we've got in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Out of all the civilizations, like all the variant civilizations that we have, I want to say like Knights Templar is the one civilization that really, really deserves the to just be. I personally wish that Knights Templar would get reworked into like its own fully fledged civilization, because it really doesn't deserve the tag of variant civilization at all. Like, just get some unique voice lines in there for that civilization. Just keep the architecture as it is. I'm fine with that. But just get some unique voice lines in there, because why do the like Teutonic Knights speak French instead of German? We got the voice lines in the game already for it. Just make it happen.
Yeah, it definitely does stand out amongst the variant civs. I put it right next. I put it above pretty much every other variant civ as far as standing alone as unique. But here comes SAS and YZY. Duking it out here. We are still in EGC Masters Fall. SAS in the blue, YZY in the red as Knights Templar.
Yeah, and here we go. Frisian Marshes coming in. We don't have any Dark Age shenanigans coming out from YZY. Villagers just immediately moving out to the gold here. And I'm really excited for this one, just because like YZY, whenever I play against him, I always feel like, okay, this dude has great macro. This dude like knows win conditions. He knows how he should play against his opponent's civilizations, and there's just something to like the level that he plays with where it's like, okay, why hasn't he been competing in tournaments so far? And I'm very excited just to see him play in tournaments now.
Yeah, is this his debut in EGC?
I'm not sure if it's his first tournament that he's played, but it's the first one where I actually like see him, where I realize that he's playing in. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. Okay, we're getting word from a cow that he played in some 4v4 tournaments before as well. So maybe not brand new to tournaments, but maybe in the 1v1 format at least.
Yeah. I gotta check again, like where he's on. Yeah, okay, so this is literally his first 1v1 tournament at all that he's playing, and I gotta quickly check AO4 just to see where he's at the moment on the ladder, because typically, like, I see him in, like, the top 10, top 15 all the time. Looks like right now he's not quite as high, he's in top 27 just at the moment, but that's typically where he's hovering around, yeah.
Just in the top 30 casually, you know, no biggie.
No biggie, it's just what he does, right?
Yeah, he's definitely someone I've seen, like, I mean, if anyone was watched, like, any pro player who's been streaming, whether that be, you know, Beastie or Puppy Paw or Wham, like, they play this guy all the time. Like, he's just one of the guys who pops up in their queue
this dude
almost
grinds
daily.
The game.
Yeah,
he
does.
Like, he plays so much.
Fun to see him here. So, French into Knights Templar. How do you play this if you're French? I mean, obviously you're not gonna go for anything crazy like Chamber of Commerce. You're gonna be making knights.
He's gonna go 2TC here from the looks of it, immediately pulling villagers over to stone. So it looks like we're getting an economically focused game here. Sheep count very even between the two. 16 for YZY, 13 for SAS. 2 still out on the map to be found. Knights Hospitaller age up.
I feel like Knights Templar is a civ that I've had a hard time getting my mind wrapped around as far as just what they can do. It just feels like they can do so many different like things. with each different age up they have, with all the different combinations you can make. It's maybe it's just that it's still kind of got that veneer of newness around it that I just haven't quite, really sunk my teeth into it all the way to know like all the intricacies of what you could do with this Civ. I definitely think there's things yet to be explored with Knights Templar.
The issue that I see here is when you go to TC against a civilization that has access to knights and feudal age, it always feels very rough because just knights in general, just being able to mass them so much. This could be quite tough. There are so many resources out on the map as well, and if you go for that second TC, you're going to be forced into the back of your base, so you don't really have the capability of moving out and taking those resources. This is something where French can kind of get into a checkmate position when they have enough knights to just start diving your base. There we go, H-Up comes in right next to the gold and next to the berries. Beautiful spot there for the TC. Gotta have to see though if this is going to be good enough here for him in order to survive up against the French attack, and this is a great timing as well, so good build order from him in order to get the TC up at a very, very early point in the game.
That is kind of crucial to a TC build like this against French. Like if you're gonna go for it, it does feel inherently risky. If you are gonna do it, you better have really good timing because that knight comes out so quick, already halfway through the queue right now.
He's gonna get it up in time. Yeah, the main issue that I see here for YZY is, like right now he's already 6 villagers behind just because like you sacrifice 3 villagers for the age up, and then you're also up against French, which get more villagers out. So this GC, it's gonna take quite a while in order to pay off, or rather to get you into a position where you're gonna be economically ahead. Because right now, this is probably where he's gonna be at the lowest of lows when it comes to his income. And it's gonna take a while until he catches up now to SAS with the French.
Yeah. Knight's on the way, already halfway across. Barracks is up, so first Spearman gets in the queue. The Knight's going to beat that out, though. And one Dark Age Spear isn't going to be too scary.
Scouts right now just looking at each other, so YZY is going to have vision of what's coming towards his base here. First Spearman in, but I think just one spear isn't going to be enough in order to deter SAS. I believe the first woodline is already mostly outside of TC range, and yeah, there we go. SAS is going to go for the charge. First hit comes in. These aren't hardened Spearmen yet, so only Dark Age, not doing that much damage to the Knight. And SAS, he's following up now with a Pro Scout play, so just getting a whole lot of Scouts in queue. Archer range, I believe I already saw prep for him as well, so we'll be able to just follow up with a lot of archers and just go for like this mass Knight Archer army composition off the back of the Pro Scout play.
Knight looking for some damage on the gold.
Kept alive. Barely.
That was close.
That's going to be a dead Vil.
That one's a goner.
Oh
no, he backs away.
He can't kill him. It's the Hospitaller, the Knight's Hospitaller. He gets a bonus health on the villagers,
right.
plus 15. And the bonus movement speed as well. That is saving him here. I believe he got the second hit on that villager there as well, but thanks to the bonus health, not able to get the kill. Crucial.
That's gotta feel like a funny interaction. That's gotta feel like an interaction you just don't see ever. You're just so used to Knights two-shotting Vils.
You just don't see Knights Templar typically, so that's probably why. What do we have there on the pawns? Is YZY going for dogs on the pawns? He's actually actively investing into pawns now as well.
Oh, that's so brilliant because that villager can just immediately get onto the wood because he's Knights Templar. He doesn't need to build a lumber camp. That's actually kind of crazy. You can just go hide that villager in the middle of nowhere and still get value out of it.
We've seen that yesterday against HRE. Issue there was that HRE was on top of the game and just killed the villagers a whole bunch of times whenever they tried to move out for it. But that hasn't happened here so far. YZY also hasn't invested into pilgrimage yet because he knows, like, at the moment, there's just no way that those pilgrims would ever get a connection into the sacred site. So there's no real reason to invest into that yet.
Exactly. I'm just imagining now, I guess Knights Templar would be the one civ that could actually, mine a stealth forest for wood and not have diminishing returns on that, really.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be rare that you'd ever do that, but it's kind of an interesting interaction that's something that, that's on the table. If all the other wood was expired, like, he could still do that and still have, like, the same gather speed.
It can happen more frequently than you might think, but now we're getting to the point where YZY will start to slowly eke out ahead when it comes to the income. Now, he has been still behind for like quite a while, so still gonna be a little bit for him to, you know, get ahead, but it's gonna start happening. Knight, has he been noticed yet? YZY, no reaction at all from him, but SAS doesn't believe it's worth it. He thinks maybe he's caused some idle time just by having the Knight there. Didn't happen. YZY didn't respect the Knight, and thus no real hit there for the efficiency.
And we were saying this 2TC build is super duper risky. It's risky until it's not. And once it pays off and you've gotten the reward for it, then it's going to look like an absolutely extremely smart play. YZY doing a good job of holding here so far.
Yeah, I feel like if it's 2 more minutes with YZY not taking any like major damage, he should be in a good enough position. Now, he does have the benefit of just having the TC next to gold vein, so he is actually able to like get gold. Typically when you go for a play like this and you don't get the TC on the gold, your opponent can just keep you off gold forever and you don't have any upgrades to work with, so your villagers aren't really that efficient. We're just going to keep looking at that villager here for a little bit, as YZY needs to react soon if he doesn't want to have that villager just die to the Gaia there.
One too many attack pings. That villager might be a goner.
Oh, he does realize.
Takes out the there spear. She goes. All right, YZY 1, Gaia 0.
And the SAS still gathering up all of the deer.
If that villager hadn't had the bonus health, I wonder if it would have died. I'm curious what the HP of that thing is now.
It would have died. I believe it's less than 15 HP remaining on that. Actually, okay, it would have barely survived.
Just lived.
Yeah, I thought it was less than 15.
He's a real pro, you know.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Heck, it probably still would be a dead vill, even with the Hospitaller. I'd still would probably let it die.
Yeah.
I don't know that SAS has gotten enough damage and value out of these Knights yet. It's still good to have them. Like, having the Knights is still great. But, man, YZY has just been pretty much undeterred in what he's doing so far. And I don't know that SAS even has an inkling of an idea that YZY has snuck out for some of those fishing boats out there to the north side.
Yeah, he hasn't really noticed this yet at all. Didn't have a reason really to scout that. He believed that YZY with the second TC, like, what? There's no real reason to go for the fish when you do have that second TC, or at least you don't expect your opponent to go giga greedy.
It's like so crazy, it's brilliant, you know? Like, it's so greedy that they just don't expect it, and when you do it, it's just like, wait, you got that greedy? And it's like, oh yeah, did that too. It's actually kind of wonderful to see. It's just really fun to see. We do see that ram coming down from SAS, so it looks like he has had enough of that TC and he wants to do something about it. He does have a pretty good size of archers as well.
Is he going to go for just one, or is he going to go for the second one? We only see the one so far. Like now Archer's also coming in for YZY. Does have a good amount of units inside of his base. Is just now getting another blacksmith upgrade in. YZY, he does see the ram in front of his base. The horsemen are circling back around as well. Can SAS commit enough, though? The TC is also in range of the main TC, so in theory, YZY could start repairing the TC from the other side. And the Knights wouldn't realistically be able to get on top of that. Some spearmen getting sacrificed here, but overall, SAS realizes, okay, I'm gonna need another ram for this.
Well, it doesn't help that the one ram he has is now half health. I don't know if he's actually going to commit to building one or not, though. We're kind of waiting to see. He's backing up a little bit more. Horseman getting a pick off of the scout.
And now we're also getting textiles in. The villagers, they're going to be super tanky now with textiles as well on top of the Hospitaller buff. You can definitely just use those now to be a little bit of a meat shield here for your army.
There's that second ram. Now, at what point do you consider a third? Because you got one of those rams is about, 2/3 of its health.
You consider going for a third if this push fails now.
And that starts leaning into the definition of insanity, though, yeah? And that push failed. Let's build another ram. Oh, that one failed. Let's do another ram. I mean, it reaches a point where that gets diminishing returns, but this might do it here. Enough archers to keep the spears at bay. They're going to try and get onto it. Knights diving in.
Ooh, horsemen, they're just getting picked apart. The archers, they're not really hitting right now as well. They're mostly just standing in the back. Just now, starting to move forward a little bit. YZY needs to pull some villagers here to start repairing. The TC is going to start to turn on fire. It's on fire now. Villagers are going to have to start evacuating here. They're going to jump out. YZY, though, he does have a huge economic advantage still behind this. So he's fine with the second TC going down.
Now, he knows he's got fish behind this that he's really been gathering up on, so he feels okay letting this one go. SAS could be tricked and lured into thinking he's really ahead here now with taking that town center down. But again, the fishing for YZY, he does have 14 idle at the moment.
And the military count isn't the largest for him at the moment. He's got so much wood that he's just not able to translate into military at the moment.
SAS looks kind of caught in between going castle and building more units. Looks like he wants to go castle right now, but he could reinvest that if he wants.
Ooh, the spearmen. They're getting caught out a little bit there. Yeah, YZY is still in a rough spot here, even with the massive economy advantage that he has at the moment. He's just not really able to get enough units out on the field, especially not against this massive army value with the knights here from SAS that just provides so much value.
Yeah, SAS's archers really making it difficult.
Not coming through yet. And SAS is about to pull the trigger on the age up. Is it going to be the Royal Institute that could come in here now? He should have the option.
Yeah, 13 knights. You definitely feel comfortable doing that if you want. He's going to go Guildhall. He's going to play it a little safe there.
And he's discovered the fishing. Let's just now see the fish, yeah. Now SAS just going to wait for the age up to come in. YZY, he doesn't really have the option of going for the age up. He needs to invest more into military.
YZY had a lot of food coming in. Now his food eco is drying up. Now he's feeling boxed in. This is kind of where the risk of going the 2 TCs really shows itself. Is that now he is boxed in, and the outside resources he has been enjoying have been dried up and are getting attacked. And then the food at home is all but expunged. And the one gold vein you're next to, you can't quite get to because there's just a lot of military on the field. This is dangerous. In fact, we see a lot of stuff all over the place. This is a good pickup here for YZY, though, if he can get that tower down.
Yeah, at the same time, though, YZY is trying to expand over to the gold yet again, just as SAS hits the age up. He's gonna potentially get the villagers here. Doesn't notice as they jump out.
It's one.
Now the spearmen return. Shouldn't be able to go. Okay, never mind. They just do a little passing maneuver there.
A little do-si-do.
YZY does notice now is going to fall back towards his base. The veterancy upgrades are coming in. Both on the knights and the archers.
Yeah, YZY
for SAS now.
I'm getting a little worried. He's investing everything he's got into more military. Love the use of the ram here from SAS to take down the dock. I mean, in a minute, YZY could hit up a castle. In a minute, YZY could hit up a castle himself, but the problem is, by the time he does, SAS is going to have a fully upgraded army. Here comes the veterancy for the archers right now.
And once the archers are vetted up, I mean, it's not just that they're vetted up, but also that SAS has as many as YZY does. So it's not even that YZY has a better, like, more military or anything like that. Not even better, not even more military at all. This is going to hurt him quite a bit, and the ram now is going to start cleaning up these docks bit by bit.
Looks like the wheels are starting to fall off ever so slightly for YZY. He needs a really good fight somewhere, but I'm not sure how he's going to manage that.
Villagers at the top side. YZY, no reaction, no reaction.
Oh no!
And that's just getting slaughtered here.
Honestly, I think SAS could have stayed a little bit longer there and done a little more damage.
Yeah, the army from YZY that's reacting to this is nowhere near big enough in order to take this fight. Fortress is coming up inside the base from YZY. He's actually just getting a fortress in now up against all of this. Is this going to be enough? It might actually be enough in order to keep himself alive. But is this enough to grow from? I'm wondering right now. The keep is here, and now with the keep, his archers actually gain more attack range as well, while they're in the influence of it.
Feudal keeps, man.
Who thought of that?
Fun to see. Fun to see. Not something I'd expected to see. It doesn't feel quite as bad as like stone walls in feudal age, you know, which are obviously not allowed in this format. But probably the right. It's probably the right call though, because YZY I mean, he's going for an early farm transition as well. Only 18 minutes
Still
in here,
needs
still in
gold.
feudal. Yeah, and the gold, and that's kind of what that keeps trying to do, right? He's trying to give him that gold vein back. Tricky thing is that
just
both
not
his gold
far
really is
enough.
forward. Yeah.
He needs maybe like another outpost there on the side. He does have enough stone in order to get like double emplacements in. To like get 2 arrow slits emplacement on outposts. Now fight is being taken underneath the keep though. Fully garrison keep as well.
Knights have... SAS has the +2 for his range defense, so he doesn't mind coming under here and Castle Age. Doesn't want to stick around too long, but the Knights could go under if they need to.
Structural value is still in favor of SAS, even though he's been diving there for a little bit, quite a while.
That Ram's still just doing its work bit by bit.
I see why he's floating so much food, but he just hasn't been able to get the age up, and now SAS is going to go for a siege workshop in order to really start pushing forward there. I see why with this much... He's finally able to get the age up in. Wondering which one he's going to be choosing here. In theory, the heavy spearman would make a lot of sense. I think it just came in, or at least he clicked it. It's just not its turn yet. We do see like there was some villager kills there. We checked the TC. It's going to be, yeah, the Angevin Empire. Makes a lot of sense here. Getting those heavily armored spears in up against the knights, up against the archer mix there could definitely help him out. It's going to be a relatively quick age up as well.
Unfortunately for those docks, it'll be a day late, dollar short to get that bonus health for them. Those docks all cleaned up now, it looks like, from YZY. So SAS has gotten complete control of all those pawns.
Siege workshops take quite a while to build up, especially with only a single villager. So by the time the siege workshop comes up, the age up is going to be completed for YZY. He still has a good amount of food. SAS, he's just about ran out of food inside of his base. His food income just collapsed.
He does have the guild hall sitting back on that, but obviously he's going to save that up for probably a red palace drop later in the game. Right now only 800. Yeah, you definitely let that sit and stew for a little longer. But he has... The difference, though, is SAS has the knights on the field already, at least. So he's got some time to build that food eco back up. The tricky thing is YZY is doing a pretty good job of getting some vill kills here and there. Trying to mitigate some of the damage that's been taken. Oh, that's a good
the knights,
surround.
they're just diving in.
Away.
Looked away for just a second, and that's an immediate, like, 10 villager kills there. Just like that, the economy, it's almost even. As long as it's even, though. Knights Templar, as long as it's even, they're ahead. That's not the worst thing yet. And he's got all the farms, right? Like, YZY, if this game goes on for a little bit, SAS is going to have to do farm transition. And there actually hasn't been any real, like, kill pressure here. SAS is now going into Trebuchet. The interesting thing here is the Angevin Empire, and the bonus that they do get is the docks get more health, and the fortresses also get a lot more HP on them, so it takes a good while to take them down. This is where I'm starting to get worried for SAS, because Trebuchets are expensive, man. And it's just got a lot of investment for not a lot of throughput in the end. Double archer ships here trying to defend dock.
And in the range of the docks,
fishing
they're
ships
healing at the same time, too.
If the fishing ships come out to repair, they don't. Or rather, they didn't. They could have.
He still
they
could
didn't.
use them.
Yeah, he's not repairing. YZY is getting a lot of crossbows out, but yeah, gold income is rough for him. He just realized that there's another gold vein in the top side that he can have access to that SAS doesn't see at the moment. That's a benefit there from him. Wait, did SAS just take the food out of the guild hall? Can we check the guild hall, see if SAS took the food out? He just suddenly has a lot again. No, he didn't take it. Okay, nice. He still has a lot of gold there waiting for him. So if he gets the gold in, if he takes the food out, he's going to be able to immediately age up.
Horseman letting the knights just chase them for a long time here. Man, YZY really was aggressive on these pawns. I mean, all across the pawns, there's docks. Moving out now
he's
from the
starting to
fortress.
push forward. Just when SAS invested into 2 trebuchets here, YZY is starting to push in forward and push SAS out of his base. And that's a lot of lost value now for SAS. The trebuchet is going to go down. That is so much that he invested into.
Both of them. Not just one, but 2.
That's 1,000 resources.
That's a huge swing for YZY. SAS's advantage evaporating here. in the blink of an eye.
Now YZY not wanting to push much further. Does have a lot of crossbows there in the back. If he just gets them in position, those knights cannot keep chasing. There we go, knights just suddenly start falling like flies underneath the bolts of the crossbows. She's also firing there on the archers, and just like that, YZY solidifying his hold there. We do see a mangonel in queue. It's going to be a while for it to come out, though, while the crossbows still pepper down on all of these knights here. There's a lot more knights coming. They're just not where they need to be at the moment.
This looks rough for SAS. Military value and not looking great. The numbers definitely favor YZY right now. Crossbows, the DPS that he can just distribute, it's just insane. He can just deal out right now. Knights just can't stand. They're picking off the archers. There's not much of a front line here for YZY. By the time they get to the cheap archers,
little misclick. I suppose have to step up forward. There we go. Now takes the position here.
Even if those
coming in on
archers
both
want
sides.
to body block, even if the archers just want to sit there and just take the hits in the knights, the crossbows behind that are just going to just destroy each and every single one of them.
SAS is not out yet, though. We're now seeing Magnets coming in forward here, so he immediately has some great siege to play with.
That is the answer. Put a couple mangonels out there, force YZY to come into that range. And then behind this, I mean, SAS has the ace up his sleeve in that as soon as he wants to go Imperial Age, he can. And he's almost got the gold for it.
How much is there? Yeah, how much is there in the guild hall? I think now we must be approaching like the 2.5k mark as well, where he immediately has enough food, even if he's at 0. Yeah, 2.9k.
Oh, yeah. He could do it right now if he wanted. And he's got relics behind this, too. He's got 3, 1 more coming in. So he's going to get all the relics.
He could pull like 30 villagers and just place it like in range of YZY's fortress and TC and just take down both landmarks with the bolts from the Red Palace. That is literally something that he could do right now.
Mangonel now on the field, getting hit by something from range.
Not sure what that was.
I don't know if that was maybe the tower had an outpost on it, or had a sprinkled emplacement potentially that was shooting it back.
We're now getting some heavy spearmen in the mix as well. SAS, is he gonna make a move for it soon? Ooh, knights from the top row. YZY does notice. Only lose a couple of villagers.
Once that gold runs out, I'm a little worried for YZY. In fact, he's sneaking villagers out right now to the stone. Look at that. He's sneaking a ton of villagers. He got them out just in time to the north corner. They're walking all the way up to that stone up in the north.
SAS has a unit just running around the top side, patrolling there. He's looking for if YZY goes back out onto the docks. Instead, he actually docked the pawns himself as well. I'm not sure if he actually saw the villagers moving out. I don't think he did. He did see that, at least he didn't notice.
I think YZY knows that he needs to get stone so he can secure himself a place on the gold veins.
SAS is playing a safe. We're seeing the Red Palace coming up in the middle of the map. I would have loved to just see the Red Palace be the landmark that snipes both landmarks from YZY.
Maybe say starting to do some work. It's like we said, it's gonna take a long time for one Treb to do it. And man, I'm just thinking about the other 2 Trebs that SAS has lost. Like so many resources that just never got any payoff.
Both night raids or attempted night raids here from YZY. Templar Brothers are on paper better than the Royal Knights. More health, more damage. But it's still difficult because SAS gets them in for such a cheap price as well. He does have that early keep inside of his base, so he did get that bonus in when it comes to production costs very early on. And now Imperial Age comes in. SAS immediately sending all the villagers over to stone. He's just gonna lock down the sacred sites here now behind this. The fight coming in.
Trying to take the tower down. A lot of crossbows here though. But a lot of Arbaletier from SAS as well.
He can't push too far forward though. There's still the Red Palace and it's just destroying the units here one by one. We just see the projectiles coming out of there. They are very faint, but they still do a lot of damage when they do hit.
Mangonel creeping forward behind this as well, and that is kind of the death blow for YZY. He really can't stand up and fight against that with his range mass. There's the outline of that keep you were talking about. A fortress coming up on the gold as like I expected as well on the north corner from YZY. He gathered the stone for it. He knows he needs to get gold. He's going out for that 8k. A fortress on that should help secure him and keep him in this game a little bit longer.
Yeah, for sure, definitely needs that. The question is, though, if a fortress at this point in time is enough to keep him safe. SAS has 5 relics behind it, Tithe Bonds coming in, 2 sacred sites locked in, 30 horsemen on the field. He's gonna have the resources easily in order to get biology in as well for his knights and his horsemen. And we're approaching the moment where YZY, like even a fortress, is not enough to just stop a pure unit flood. And we do see, yeah, there it is. He's just sending them. He's just sending them across the map now.
Yep. Say 91 to 35 units, not looking great. YZY was able to pick up that Mangonel and destroy it, but that's just not going to be enough.
YZY is trying to go for his own age up, and now with the horseman flood just coming in there, he will not have the ability to go for that. And look at that, he's just taking down the buildings with the demo ships.
You can just demo it down. That's funny. You don't see that every day. And that's
there it is. GG comes in.
YZY sees the writing on the wall, realizes that there's just no real avenue back. He's just too far back behind, and calls it to fight another game.
A nice game from Knights Templar here on Frisian Masters. Just not enough in the end. SAS with the French on top of the game. Just pure aggression from him throughout it all. And just very calculated gameplay.
There are definitely some points where I thought YZY was doing a really good, like you said, a pretty good job there. I think that it's so tricky though when you've got that death ball of knights that just snowballs slowly and it starts growing and growing and growing. And it reaches the point where like at the end, 90-something units with all the Arbitrie mixed in as well. It's you just have a hard time, especially when you're down in age. That guild hall really is just such an ace in the sleeve, just to pull out at the perfect time, just to get the head. It just kind of builds, and then it just becomes overwhelming. And that's kind of what SAS banked on, and it worked.
Yeah. APM 355 from YZY, so I don't think he's out yet. Yeah. I'm tempted to, you know, chalk this one up to just not there being the greatest matchup here for Knights Templar up against French, especially with the 2TC play. So I'm very interested to see what we're going to be seeing next, and it is going to be House of Lancaster up against the Chinese. And House of Lancaster, I do know that YZY does enjoy his House of Lancaster. I've seen him play it quite a ton. Typically, it's always the same-ish, like 3 manors into Fast Castle, and then just, you know, knights and men-at-arms, and kind of played from there. I'm not sure if China is that potent against it. It kind of depends, right? Like, you're getting Pro Scouts, of course, yet again. Like, this is the second Pro Scout civilization here for SAS, and I believe it's 100% going to Pro Scout plate as well. That'll be interesting. Yeah,
I definitely agree. Dry Arabia, of course, the classic map. It'd be fun to see. I can't stop thinking about YZY having 355 APM. That's like StarCraft 2 level numbers of like APM. That there reaches a point in this game. I wonder, like, where do you get diminishing returns on your APM in AoE4? Because I feel like after you hit 200, like, I mean, I guess more APM the better. But it feels like at what point does that matter as much? Or are you just clicking to click? I do think it's a very high number though.
There's always something to keep in mind, that APM does not necessarily equal awareness. Like, a lot of players try to like keep their APM high. And high APM is nice and all, but it doesn't help you when you're clicking 300 times on the right hand of the screen while you're losing 30 villagers on the left side of the screen. So that's always something to be aware of, that there is like a peak where I want to say like APM helps you up until you reach like 200 APM.
200 or so, yeah.
Yeah. Over that, it's not really necessary. Over 200 APM, you will rarely find yourself in a situation where you're APM locked, but more likely awareness locked, where you're just not aware of situations, where you're not aware of stuff going on. So I think that's just a lot more important to keep in mind, like having awareness. But now it is time for us to jump into our game number 2 between SAS and YZY here in the round of 32 in the EGC Masters Fall qualifiers. And we're jumping straight into it as we do have SAS in the color blue playing as the Chinese here for us. He is not going to go for the early Imperial Official opening. Instead, he is going for the classic Noya opening, and I am screaming internally as I saw that villager with basically no distance between him and the mill choose to drop off at the TC instead. That is just sad and happens all the time, and I wish it would stop.
No, I'm not going to complain too much because China, I feel like, has just so many good things going for it that, you know, that's an okay nerf. We can let that slide, I think. Although if it were me, I'd be screaming too. So, you know.
Interesting macro here at the beginning. What SAS is going to get on top of it will now stabilize there. And then we have YZY in the color red here, of course, playing as the House of Lancaster. 3 villagers already on gold for him. And we will most likely just be seeing the classic old Lancaster castle build coming up. And then it's going to be a lot of nothing really happening for a while. And we're just going to be sitting there, twiddling our thumbs, waiting for something to happen. And I mean, one side is going to pro scout, the other side is going to fast castle. And we're just going to be
just going to see who does it better. Yep, yeah. Pretty much. Not the most exciting start to a game. We haven't seen any Dark Age shenanigans yet either. Although I will mention that the gold placement and the berry placement for House Lancaster, the Abbey of Kings,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, a good spot for that too. He's
got options. Yeah, he's not getting his starting gold, but he could his starting stone. I mean, oh, it's actually going to be Abbey of Kings coming in here. That's interesting.
I'm looking at that Chinese. Going, huh. I was expecting the other landmark, but Abbey of Kings, so maybe going a little more aggressive. Maybe looking to play for a defense against the pro scouts. I'm not sure how effective that would be at this level, but well, at least it won't be boring.
It is an interesting one. Something to, yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting approach here up against the Chinese. I guess it's nice because you can actually, like, with Abbey of Kings, you got a good enough timing to actually contest the pro scout play from China. Because typically China is just so quick, just like choosing to the pro scout that, yeah, by the time the first unit comes across, pro scout's already in, the first couple of deer are already coming across, and like when there's 3 deer that your opponent has already gathered up in their base, it's already 1,000 food. You're not going to be able to really outdo them for a while with that 1,000 food that they have access then. That's always like one of those things, like the first 3 deer, that's all they really need, and then they can just sit inside their base, mass units, and then push out later on when they actually have enough units to contest you.
Which is why we see those civs banned all the time in these high-level tourneys like this. Which is interesting that this is the second Chinese game we've seen in as many series.
Yeah. Hasn't been prio banned enough from the looks of it. So Imperial Academy is going to be coming in. Abbey of Kings just about finishing up now as well. That is going to be an instant free Lords of Lancaster coming in here for YZY. If he finishes it up, just a little bit. Off. Yeah, that's what you get when you're at 355 APM.
355 APM? I was going to say the same thing. I was like, man, he's just so ready to click it so quick that he actually jumped the gun there a little bit. That's fun.
First manor immediately coming in. Second manor should be coming in soon as well. I'm not sure if YZY is going to really like invest much more into the feudal age. I'm not sure if he's going to like actively produce any Lords of Lancaster. I think maybe he's just going to like use the one that he gets for free, tries to do some damage, and just rushes for an age up after. Actually, he's just trolling inside of his base.
This is very peculiar. Today we're going to be marching up and down the square.
He's just chilling. He's just working out, you know, getting his steps in.
Marching
10,000 steps a day.
And down the square. And look at his uniform. I never actually looked at this unit up close this nicely before. That's sweet. Look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty unique looking. It's looking like active development right there.
You think his shoulders get tired from holding the sword the entire time like that?
It's a pretty big sword as well.
Like one-handed as well? He's got a shield to go with it.
He seems pretty muscular. Maybe that's it. Just the
Yeah,
muscles.
he's just born that way, you know. It's a king. He just has to be that way.
He
3
was
IOs
given
now
the
for
sword at
SAS.
birth.
Was born. They just, you know, little infant. Here you go. Here's your sword. Right here, flip this around.
Here's your free sword, sir. Use it however you please. Pro Scout now in queue.
There
We
he goes.
did have SAS opting for an early archer range. Hasn't produced anything from it yet, but does have the option to do so, should he chooses to do so. Second Lord of Lancaster in Q9. I do believe the first Lord is just now starting to move out across the map in order to start denying some of that Pro Scout. And SAS, he's getting very close now. The upgrade is going to finish within the next couple of seconds. And
Okay, but why the delay?
Scout is already waiting. There it is.
Why did he have his guy
Finishes up.
marching back and forth? I'm still trying to figure out the rationale behind that. Usually I can understand, like, when a pro does something, I can usually go, okay, this is probably the reason why. I just have no idea why you wouldn't just already have this guy sitting on one of the deer packs.
I wouldn't be able to tell you as well. Maybe he just didn't want to show it off, but SAS already scouted prior.
Yeah, Abbey. Yeah, so he already saw the landmark, so he knows it's coming.
He knows
Strange.
that the unit exists. He's played the game before. We do have some Hobblers in now as well. Should be the moment where the Hobblers should start to strike. Get some early kills here on the archers. There they go. With all of the bonus armor that they have, yeah, the archers, they're not really going to do any damage here to them.
Hobblar is a great unit for this kind of thing. Quick, fast, speedy. Not something you can dive a town center with, but excellent for dealing with archers in the open field.
Yeah, SAS going for his own horseman now. Isn't really going to be able to trade out too evenly, but the deer, they're already so close to the main TC at this point in time. It's very difficult for YZY to take any of these fights here. Because SAS is always just going to run back to the TC with a hand cannon placement. That's not something that you really want to dive at this point in the game.
Yeah, and those Hobblars are pretty light when it comes to armor and their health. They really cannot afford to dive under, especially with that hand cannon emplacement. You really don't want to be diving a Chinese TC.
Couple of hits coming in, but we do now have Spearmen out on the field as well. Now, lots of Lancaster are still going to be able to do a decent job up against the Spearmen. But they've been taking a couple of hits, and slowly but surely the health is going to start diminishing on them. And YZY behind us, though.
It's not really a denial of Pro Scouts. It's really just a delay of Pro Scouts.
It is. It is a delay. It is a force of investment on SAS side into feudal age units. And YZY, he's just going to go for the tower, the white tower here in just a little bit. Get the 3 free men-at-arms and try and push from there on out with a heavily armored castle age unit. We do see him moving out forward. Is going to secure not just the gold, not just the wood line, not just the berries, but also a stone there, all with a single landmark here at the front side. So he's going to have a very, very sustainable economy after.
I mean, he almost got moved that just like a tile or two a little more to the west. He's almost on that 8k gold.
Yeah. Might have been a little bit too greedy in his mind, but definitely would have been an option for him. You don't even have to be that fearful if your opponent pulls their archers, because you have some short bows there. If you just pull enough villagers, you just kill the archers with your villagers. We do have some horsemen striking at the villagers from YZY, but not going to be enough in order to kill anything. But SAS now realized, okay, there's an age up on the way. I gotta go for my own age up, and I believe he just pulled a lot of villagers over to gold now. So SAS should be able to get his own age up in soon behind this. Still attempted
trying to get
raids.
something done. They just really can't get in there, though. They're really good in the open field, really good at tracking stuff down, really good at a hit and run kind of raiding. But when you've got a defensive civ that's just geared up for that exact thing, it's hard to get a lot of value.
Yeah. SAS behind us, though, very close to getting his own age up in. YZY with a lot of barracks inside of his base. We're seeing a lead immediately, like a lot of men-at-arms, a lot of Earl's Guards being queued up behind this. Where are all the barracks? How many does he have? 2 barracks there. Could also additionally get a knight in. But with 4 Lords of Lancaster, these Earl's Guards are going to have a lot of health. And there we go, YZY now starting to take some dives inside the base of SAS. And with all of this bonus health, that means that YZY's Earl's Guards, even if there are these bonus shots, the hand cannon placements from the TC, the bonus health is a direct counter to that. he's going to be able to dive much deeper. And the Lords of Lancaster, they also got stealth upgraded to the castle age, so they get some more armor and some more health in as well.
Ablar is diving the woodline as he goes up the top of the TC as well. Getting some decent value in here now. There goes one.
Pretty much something that could just get put back in queue immediately again, though. Age up comes through, but SAS' base is completely idled out right now. He only has enough resource for a single knight, and villages start to go down now. 7 villages down already.
Another lord goes down, but the value of the trade feels like it's worth it. And he's all over, even on the other side with the gold, too.
Yeah, YZY just taking incredible trade here, and SAS
Another IO.
Still completely idled out inside of his base. He cannot get any resources in right now.
30 idled of 32, and those two are dead. This is a great play by YZY. He's really taking it to SAS right now. We might just have a series in our hands. SAS trying to stabilize. Able to clean this stuff up eventually, but man, that puts him behind just a little bit.
Just a little bit,
The trick here now is YZY needs to have the good follow-up. This is where it matters. Like, that was a great punch, but it wasn't a knockout blow. Now you need to have the follow-up. Can you survive the follow-up? Can you continue to keep the pressure up?
YZY is in a great spot right now because not only is he 10 villages ahead, but if you also count in the manors that he has, he's more like 20 villagers ahead at this point in time.
Right.
Also trying to get the relic, so this one is going to get spotted. That was the one on SAS' side, so a little bit of a greedy relic pull here. Makes sense that one is going to get denied by SAS. But still should be a lot of relics going over to YZY's side here.
You know, the funny thing about AoE 4 is that in like real medieval battles, if you had a casualty rate that was this many killed in action, armies just didn't fight to the death like they do here. But man, you see so many times in AoE 4 the army's just down to the last man.
Yeah, SAS behind this, trying to take away the deer from YZY's side. Needs to be careful though, doesn't want to run through the base of him. There's a white tower there that could potentially block some of these scouts if SAS isn't manually moving them the correct side. Now we have a lot of Earl's Guards, and once again, both, like all 4 of the Lords of Lancaster, and these dagger throws just time and time again could also mean that SAS, with just 4 crossbows, not having enough to counter him out.
Yeah, SAS knows he needs those. Getting some Palace Guards in the mix. I'm not so sure about those, actually. I'm not sure how that... I mean, having the meat shield would be great. You need the crossbow mass to back it up, though.
Horseman needs to run away from the Wallalow there. Reinforcements there, so this relic should be coming back. And the dagger throw, actually, a little bit of micro there as well. Dagger throw in 2 units, not just the 1 spearman.
That's actually brilliant. Not letting them overkill, but trying to get the full value of the damage.
Yeah.
You see that with javelins a lot too, you know, or javelin throwers will just overkill units like by a lot. And if you can split them up into groups, you can get a lot more value and a lot more DPS. Or effective DPS, I should say.
Lots of Lancaster coming in, dagger throw coming in as well. Killing another one of the crossbows. Can we just select one of these Earl's Guards? How much health do they have with 4 Lords of Lancaster next to them? Plus 33, almost 200 health on these Earl's Guards.
And, you know, he could just walk this right back to the Abbey and just, you know, heal them up slowly with everything he's got. I mean, he just looks like that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Just get continued value out of that.
4 relics secured. SAS did manage to bring the deer back. So YZY is in theory behind when it comes to natural food resources, but more manors coming up behind this, also expanding out towards his own deer. SAS making sure that the relic's not taken.
YZY could still try for that relic. Yeah, SAS does not want him to have it, but trying to get that wall up now. Probably be a 4-1 split by the looks of it.
Side's also being taken behind this. YZY, there hasn't really been a move yet to separate, to like a different army composition. Just the Earl's Guards for the time being, and now also the move into the upgrade for the remaining 3 manors here for him. So economy-wise, YZY, he's looking quite strong here in just a little bit as well. SAS, though, the food income still looking strong, but I'm wondering just how much longer those deer can sustain inside of a space. It should be running out soon. Great raid, though. 2 villagers will get picked off there.
He's still so far behind, though, economically. YZY did a lot of damage to him and is very far ahead with those manners. But little chip damage you can get will help. SAS needs to do a lot more of it, however.
Yeah, it definitely does. Seeing more production buildings coming on SAS side. I believe he is pretty much trying to all in here on that side. Just trying to get as many units out as possible. There's no move out for him for like a Song Dynasty or a second TC. So he is very much committed. And, oh my god, the daggers.
They are
Knight almost just dying right there.
Nowhere to go.
Oh, he protects the knight with the scout, so this knight is gonna survive unless there's like a cheeky goodbye dagger. Oh,
on the wrong. Oh, he just won.
He gets him still. Oh my god, these daggers, man.
If it weren't for that scout giving its life as well, he would have lost 2 or 3 knights there. I think that was a good bit of micro from SAS. He dodged a little bit of bullet. I'm surprised it wasn't more. And there's the deer, all out of food. He needs to make a grander transition, but he doesn't have the wood for that right now. And he really doesn't want to take the time to do that. He's caught in a very tricky spot. Normally, China can make that transition so smoothly, but here, caught with his pants down, essentially, no wood income like at all. He's getting more on there now, but it's going to take a while to get that bank big enough to actually get a food eco.
Yeah, and without Song Dynasty, he's not going to be able to place granaries. He's going to have to just make normal mill and farms until then. Something that's also very annoying is, sure, he does have the Imperial Academy. He can use it to activate the spies every now and then, but there's just nothing to raid, right? Like YZY with the House of Lancaster, the economy, it's just all inside of the base. There's no move out necessarily.
Lancers trying to get them to gold bills. They're going to get maybe 1 or 2 for their effort, maybe. Or maybe not. Wow. Within an inch of their life left, 2 bills escaped to live another day. And those dagger throws.
It's so oppressing.
It really is. I mean, you can't even run away. You're just getting stabbed in the back.
Yeah, SAS, he's massed a big number of crossbows behind this. The issue with that, though, is that YZY now has a lot of yeomen. He's going to be ready for a fight there. We do have another move out with some scouts trying to pro-scout away the deer, but the outpost with the sprinkler placement just means that SAS isn't going to be able to get any more deer out of the map. Now, still the play potentially onto the 2 boar. The 2 boars that are still out there. Does have the option of dropping a Barbican on 1 for Song Dynasty as well. Another little raid here. YZY still a good spot in that regard.
Yeah, YZY's space. Putting some forward farms around the White Tower, too.
It's nice when you have them protected by the White Tower. Some more farms coming in back as well. He's got enough wood for a good amount of farms here at the moment. Just keeps on massing more and more units. SAS at the moment does have a very nice army value. Just no real siege to push with, and he will need siege if he wants to push past that White Tower.
Yeah, the game definitely feels like it's slowing down a little bit. Both players getting the farms going. It's true, it's true. I'm not too sure if I love the composition from SAS. He does have a number of palace guards as well. He's got pretty much equal numbers of spears and palace guards, and then has about the same number as both of those in crossbows.
Villagers, some more villager kills coming in here. This time SAS is getting some more pickoffs there. Not able to pick off the last one though.
Still now it's been 12-6, so a little bit more getting back on track for SAS there, picking off a couple here and there. The numbers pretty close, 57-53 overall, and then as far as military numbers go, again, pretty neck and neck, 70 to 62. It's interesting
that SAS has managed to cap all 3 sacred sites here. That's 300 gold per minute, so interesting enough, even though YZY has gotten 4 out of the 5 relics, right now SAS has more passive gold income than him.
Funny how that works out sometimes. And really, there's no reason for YZY to let this continue. Like, he could easily send a couple units to one of those sacred sites and decap it at least. At least turn the timer off. He's been trying a couple times. YZY had tried a couple times to get a monk on one of those sacred sites. Kept getting sniped out. Another one actually dies right now on the sacred site.
Yeah, I think now though it's time for him to start really moving out. We do have a lot of Yeomen now, even more coming out behind this. And Palace Guards, they just don't serve as that great of a tanking unit here up against the Yeomen. Some Spearmen in there as well with the Billhook, able to debuff the units. And now we do have the wraparound here from the Hobblers. Knights trying to fight off as well. Lots of Lancaster just still remaining.
Those men-at-arms having plus 33 health during this whole fight for YZY, helping a ton. But the Yeoman really being the DPS behind this.
And SAS now on half the military force. Army value also more looking like half here. Not really able to fall back that much further. We do have some Nest of Bees here trying to help out. Obela's trying to get on top of them, but there should be enough of a line there in order to stop that from happening. The infantry mass coming in as well, though. Nest of Bees trying to step back, trying to get the shots off onto the Yeoman. Getting some good shots off. It's just not enough.
It's close. A lot of weakened Yeoman, but no front line left. They just dive right on top. Lord right on the Nest of Bees. One goes down. Two go down. Make it 3.
And that is it. SAS 0 food per minute. He's got absolutely nothing left. And YZY can just run inside of his base. And that means that we are going to get a game number 3.
First series today that we've gotten to cast that'll go the distance, all 3 games. YZY playing his game on that one. You know, I don't think we expected to see the Lords come out. I don't think we expected Abbey of Kings off the get-go, but really made a case for why that could be effective here. I was able to slow down the pro scouts, was able to force a reaction out of SAS, and then leverage that into a quick castle timing, and then just kind of made SAS play catch up the entire time. And even though he had some good positioning with the sacred sites, the raids that SAS was trying to inflict just weren't enough. YZY doing enough damage early in the game and then just kind of coasting from there.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's next on the block here. YZY so far, he's doing a great job. Next up though, it is going to be SAS that picks the next map. What was the last map that was remaining here? Was it a water map potentially? Because this is where it's Holy Island. I just got the confirmation. We're going over to Holy Island, and this is where it starts becoming tough for players that just started out in tournaments that are mostly just used to ladder games, because that's where, let's be honest, most players, they just veto the water maps. Yeah. But in tournaments, those tend to make their way through the draft sometimes, and yeah, we are going to have a water map here now as the home map for SAS, and that means YZY, he's going to have to play water here. And we're seeing English against the Mongols on the Holy Island. That's an interesting matchup.
I am impressed with YZY's performance. I mean, we expected SAS to come out and play really well, which he has. I am impressed with YZY. He's known as the Roos guy. You know, he's the guy who plays Roos, and Roos has been banned. He does not have that option. He's playing pretty well with what he's been given. And so Holy Island English into Mongols. You know, 2 English civs back to back. I mean, House of Lancaster now English proper. Curious to see how YZY wants to play this one. But yeah, water maps are always a different animal than the land. And most players tend to shy away from the water maps. Even at this high level, you get the sense that, you know, more pros prefer land maps over the water maps. Ones who can make water work really well for them, though, usually perform very well in these kind of formats.
Yeah, water maps is definitely something that you do have to learn with civilizations, because it's just a completely different sort of... For one, build order-wise, every single civ is completely different. Like, no civ plays the same on water than they do on land, pretty much. And you just can never really ignore water. If you ignore water when there's deep-sea fish, then you're just going to fall behind a lot compared to your opponent. It's just something that you really have to play with, that you have to keep in mind as you play with it. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if YZY, a player that, you know, that is his first like tournament appearance here, whether he's got a game plan for it.
I think with water maps, and I think why most players tend to not like them, is that it kind of splits your attention, which is ironic because you're already supposed to be splitting your attention into what you're doing in your base and what you're doing out on the map. But I think water maps like really forces that from the get-go, where you have to have your mind split on two sides. You got to be looking at the land portion of things, but you also have to be paying attention to the water. And for players that, you know, especially like on the ladder, like for every average Joe players like myself, you know, that's a lot to ask for, to have to keep your mind pivoting back and forth and back and forth. And I think that's why players tend to not care for water as much. That, and if you lose water, more often than not, you can really quickly lose the game. Like, it's just so critical. You have to play it. You can't just afford to ignore it or to lose it. Because once your opponent secures that extra food resources, you're just kind of hosed.
Yeah, it's the point of spreading the awareness, as we mentioned earlier. Just having those 2 points, these 2 fronts that you always have to like be aware of, see how they're moving, see how your opponent is moving. It just adds a completely new dimension to your gameplay, and you just have to be aware of how your opponent's moving, if your opponent's attacking, because it could happen that your opponent attacks you on land and attacks you on water at the same time, and then just becomes a very much like you have to react on both sides. And water tends to be a lot more snowbally than land, because all it takes is one demo connection for you to lose all of your sprinkle chips on water. So you have to like be like, okay, 70% aware of water and then 30% on land, and that is still very difficult to do.
Well, and if you blink with those demo ships, man, you can lose your entire armada. You blink and it's gone. If you miss that, it can happen incredibly quickly. And it can be kind of hard to distinguish when all those boats get clustered together too. It can be a little difficult to tell what's what. And then if you look away because you're getting raided by a bunch of knights on land, suddenly boom, boom, boom. What's that? Oh no, all my ships are in the bottom of the sea. GG's. And so I think that pressure really makes water difficult, just in general and for all players. A couple seconds to start here. How do you expect Mongols to go about this?
Mongols is an interesting pick here. So I'm wondering just the same thing here, how SAS is going to play this. Now, they do have some different opening potential here, but it looks like we do have the early Uvu opening here from SAS in the color blue playing as the Mongols here on a Holy Island. His opponent YZY in the color red playing as the English. And it looks like SAS isn't actually sending a unit across towards his shoreline. So it looks to me like instead he is just going to be going for a horseman rush, which is actually something very interesting, something that you can do against English, because for one, English in Dark Age, they get vanguardman arms. They don't actually get spearmen in the Dark Age. And their villagers only get a ranged attack that does 1 less damage against horsemen that have pierce armor in Dark Age. So yeah, that's actually what we're going to be seeing here from SAS, moving out with that villager and just getting a stable up in the Dark Age here now.
I mean, neither player is playing for water here. YZY just ignored it so far. Standard opening from him. And SAS, obviously, the horseman opening.
This might just be a very lucky condition here for him. Just that he didn't go for water.
Maybe he kind of knew that was going to happen coming in. Maybe he expected this play from Mongols, because you don't think of Mongols as a typical, like, full water civ.
Yeah, it could be. SAS does see that YZY already is on gold. He's pretty much already gathered up enough for his own age up. No horseman in queue yet. Could be that he wants to wait for that little bit of extra stone to get the double production in on the double horseman play there. Wondering so far. I'm guessing it's going to be the double production for the horseman. Yeah, now he's moving the Gur over to the gold. In order to just start getting his own way up to feudal age. We do have the double production there on the horseman. There it is, Abbey of Kings coming in here. This is looking like a very good opening so far from YZY. I don't think the horsemen are really going to find too much value here in this one.
Yeah, probably a really heads up play not to go for water. It feels so counterintuitive, right? Because so often getting on water early expands your economy. But in this instance, I mean, going out later, knowing your opponent probably isn't going to do the same. And there's the horseman, just like you said. I mean, this is going to play right into YZY's hands. He's going to have a really good chance to repel this with ease and then maybe take water later on in feudal and then just play his game again.
Exactly. The horsemen are going to come across. This also delays SAS's age up to feudal age by quite a bit. YZY rushing the age up even with 5 villagers, so he's going to get a very quick age up. It means the king is also going to be coming out relatively early on here. Yeah, the horseman just torch damage alone, I'm not even sure if he's going to be able to torch that mining camp down. Worst case, YZY can just pull a villager there in order to repair it. The villager should be in range of the TC in order to keep him alive there as well.
That's just close enough. I was wondering, maybe if I was debating in my mind as we were like, before these horsemen got here, is if you do destroy the mining camp or not, deny that extra bit of gold. But it is so close. He really could just send a Vil.
Age up now is coming in from SAS here. Relatively even sheep split. Just a minor lead here for YZY.
I think he's just going to let him have the gold.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to go for the repair. Instead, we do have a villager now moving out. So it looks like YZY is just now going to go for the dock play here. So biding his time. Yeah, YZY so far, it looks like he is very much aware of the matchup, just how he should play it. Bounty does get taken though by SAS, so he's gonna at least get a little bit of resource. And invested 120, gets like 50 back.
I think you're willing to give that up if that means you're getting up to H first and now you're safely able to get onto water.
Yeah, 100%.
There's a signal arrow as the speedy boys begin speeding around the map.
Now with you, SAS does have the option of potentially just getting his own dock up and even getting some dock emplacements. Could put a dock forward in the middle and just have it be there as a deterrent. Makes it difficult for YZY to move forward. But at the same time, YZY, if he gets to the point where he can just get the Admiralty upgrade on water, and he does just pull a lot of villagers over to gold, if he gets Admiralty on water, he's gonna win any water fight in Feudal Age.
Yeah, it feels like this is gonna be a tricky... It feels like an uphill battle for SAS right now. Like, it just feels like YZY has the tools he needs to do what he wants to do, and SAS was hoping to interrupt things and just hasn't been given the opportunity, it seems. Scout looking a little weak there, but I think at this point YZY would almost trade a scout for the horseman.
Horseman will be able to take down the scout. Kashik's coming out as well. Oh, double produced Kashiks as well.
That king probably can't stand there.
Yeah, the knight, you definitely can't stand next to the Yam aura there. But outside of the Yam aura, the king actually does have a movement speed advantage compared to the Kashiks. Khan trying to body block here, actually.
That's really heads up play. You could turn and take that one horseman if you wanted out. But I don't know if he'd be able to keep the knight alive, or the king alive if he did. Already have an
archership fight. King looks like he's going to be able to stay alive, though. Second dock in the middle. Oh, YZY got a villager kill on the dock there.
Has to back up, though. Can't fight underneath the dock.
And the king was able to stay alive. Is going to get healed up. Villager from YZY needs to be careful out there, though. Could potentially get found out and taken down.
This is where this map gets really interesting. There's just a lot happening all at once. And it's all very little tiny engagements. Nothing too big yet. Just, they're all over the place. King healing up, but...
Town bell is ringing. English do get the heads up there. Thanks to that aura.
You pull some bills for the longbow shot? Or the short bow shot?
In the worst case, you can. That's really like a committed dive. SAS now putting more on water there. YZY is getting really close to being able to research Admiralty here behind this. Just needs a little bit more gold.
And once that happens, I don't know what SAS's response to that should be. Things just get very difficult.
Oh, instead, cues a demo ship. And he doesn't have that many villagers on gold anymore. He had 5 earlier, now it's down to 3. So maybe he's not trying to go for the immediate Admiralty. Definitely should, though.
I agree. It definitely seems like a win-win to go for it. Because on the off chance that you build that demo ship, you build some navy, and then somehow you lose that fight, you're really far behind tech-wise. Then you don't have an edge anymore. Demo ship.
Oh, villager does get found out.
And loses archer
also
ship.
Losing archer ship. Yeah.
That's the crazy thing about water, right? Is you blink and suddenly the tides change.
Yeah. Still no Admiralty in queue for him. Instead, YZY kind of needs to invest more into water, into just any water presence. Hasn't done so far.
Does SAS know about this demo ship?
Should do so now. Does get alerted to it. Unships are gonna fall. Or the Springle ships are gonna fall back in time. Demo ship also needs to fall back.
Here.
Doesn't look like it. Oh, demo ship does get sniped. YZY loses his own Springle ship here just a little bit. Movement speed bonus gets activated. Doesn't continue to move out though.
And just like that, what shouldn't have happened has happened. SAS has pretty much control of water over right now. I mean, there's not much that YZY can do.
See more ships in queue. Cancels them. Does he get Admiralty in instead? Gets a Springle ship in instead. Does he have enough? He barely has any wood income at the moment. That's the weird part.
He's got a lot on wood.
So you should be getting some more wood income in just a little bit. But it feels like he was trying to go for an age up instead behind all of this. Just looking at the resource that he's been banking.
Yeah, it feels like SAS now is in the driver's seat. Seems like one too many errors on YZY's part, and now SAS capitalizing as best he can. And that's, you know, what good players do. They wait for the errors to happen. Sometimes the errors are few and far between, but if you can capitalize on your opponent's error, that can be the difference of winning and losing. As King right here, just getting body blocked on the stone and goes down. Add that as to another in the win column for SAS. This is looking dire.
Where did YZY's food just go? Didn't YZY have like 150 food just a second ago? And now he's going for farms?
That does not seem like a good sign.
Did he queue something up? Now he's got the 500 food again. Okay, I'm a little bit confused right now. This does kind of feel like he just was incredibly unsure as to how to play this game from the spot that he was in. He's remaking the king now. But SAS at the moment, he's got so many Kashyyyks in as well. I feel like YZY needs to age up. The question is, what can you realistically age up with? It feels like you kind of need the White Tower. But at the same time, because your opponent has water, you kind of like need the King's Palace there instead.
Yeah, this is a very tricky spot to be in, and I'm not sure.
Oh, good kill.
Hit there.
Very good kills.
Archer's not doing enough.
Trading out the Spearman. Yeah, taking down 3 Kashyyyks like that. Definitely a very good trade there.
A little bit of breathing room.
YZY.
But is it enough? And I'm not sure that it is.
Oh, he's got enough. He's got enough resource now. He's just gonna pull the villagers. That's fine. Just kill the archers with your villagers.
Civil Defense Force is a go. Each one of those shots does 5 base damage.
It works so well, actually.
I mean, 40 units times 40 times 5. I mean, that's...
Now the age up behind it just when SAS loses his entire army to villagers. Did he stun that to me as well? Just killing you with villagers.
King's Palace. I mean, when you think about it, right? Like 40 villagers times 5 a shot is 400 damage a shot every so many seconds. And that's going to start one-shotting even the big tanky stuff. I mean, they do have some armor, so it affects the math a little bit. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the tricky things about English. That's why they are a defensive civ at heart.
We do have the King's Palace coming in, so YZY, even though he is going to lose water, he is going to be on a second TC. So we'll at the very least get some additional villagers in here. But yeah, this is water now completely lost for him. But has reached Castle Age. No military, real production building, though. There we go. Okay, stable is coming up behind us now as well.
The tricky thing is you don't want to keep exchanging villagers for archers. Yeah, he's going to have to here to stay alive. Thankfully, the town center can keep him safe for a second, but he needs military.
It is an old school TC, though, the King's Palace. It still has, like, the 10 villager slots that he can put in.
Oh, man, that takes you back.
Yeah, a little bit more damage that he can put out with it.
Gosh,
and YZY, of course, like, he's no stranger. He's no stranger to pulling the builds.
Remember when the hometown center used to have 20 garrison slots? Crazy.
Wait, no, it didn't.
It used to, yeah. The hometown center used to have 20 garrison slots back in the day. Your starting landmark? It's been nerfed down to 15 for over a year now, but used to be 20. Used to be 20.
No, I would remember that.
Coward doesn't remember that either. It was a thing. I was there, Gandalf, 4,000 years ago. Was a thing.
Nah.
It used to be 20. It seems crazy now. I can't believe that's how the game started, but
Okay, this is a fever dream right now. I can't remember that, but I feel like I'm getting gaslit here right now.
it was a thing. It was a thing. My memory, I'm like an elephant over here. I'm not sure how sustainable this is for YZY, trading bills for archers. Now, he's got a knight in the field now, so he's able to start doing some work, but quite a bit of delay.
That must have been before ranked.
No, it was during
the
ranked.
first season.
It was for a couple seasons. It happened. Now, it did change 2 years ago now, I will say, but there was a full year that the game's been out for over 3 years.
Damn, I don't remember that at all. So I don't remember that.
That was when they changed the other things as well. They used to have 20
I'm just getting gaslit
centers.
here. I'm just getting completely gaslit here right now. Oh a year ago in 2024, TC said like, that must have been like,
it was 2 years ago.
Way longer. That must have been 2022 or something like that. Like,
it was 2 years ago, but it was they had 20 at the hometown center, and then all other town centers had 10. I don't think
2. That must have been like at least 3 years ago.
Has the game been out for 4 years now? It might have been close to 3 then. It's been a couple years. But it was a thing. My, have we come a long way, though.
YZY is keeping his knights alive. Will want to do so for a little bit longer. He could heal that one up again, but that one's going to go down.
That's down.
There's no way he keeps that one alive.
Unless he body blocks right here.
Khan's going to take it down.
Oh,
movement speed arrow. It's going to be enough.
YZY in such a tricky predicament here. I just feel like once you lose water, the game tends to be up. And that's not obviously a true like hard and fast rule. There are definitely games that you can win outside of water should you lose. But man, it's tricky here. I don't know how you claw your way back in without doing some serious damage to your opponent.
SAS. I mean, he is now also in H3. He does have water working for him. So there's no real food transition for him. King gets sniped as well. That is something that YZY can relatively easily rebuild, though. At the end of it, I mean, he's just a little bit too slow when it comes to pulling these knights back in order to heal them back up again in the King's Palace. In the Abbey of Kings.
I want to shout out chat
these
for
trades...
reminding us that the patch was real.
It was real, okay. August 4th, 2022. It's been a while.
Been a while. 3 years.
Been a hot minute. You made it sound so recent, 1 year ago. I blame that.
The years have been blending. The years have been blending so much. It's. I have a hard time.
2024, yeah, okay. 2024, Cow says. You know, just the other day, it still was 20 slots in the main TC. Just the other day.
Just the other week, you know. You blink and it's gone. Relic coming in for YZY. He needs all the help he can get. So I like that he's going for these relics, trying to find every little inch of value he can.
This time around, though, this is the issue with Keshiks. They just don't trade out that well up against the Knights. Like, how much health do they have in Veterancy? Like, 185? They have less in Veterancy than Knights do in Feudal Age. 175 even.
175, it's even worse. Yeah, and that's, you're seeing it right here. Without the Kurlitai helping him out, I mean, he needs to be, sending him back to the heal at the Kurlitai is actually massive. Gets a little more value out of that. But if he's not fighting under the Kurlitai as well, they don't play too nice with Knights.
Outpost coming up here. YZY just continually expanding. He does still have a similar overall economy count to SAS. Lots of stables from SAS. He's also invested into Kurlitai, so with that, of course, does have the option of always healing up his Keshiks as well, similar to the Abbey of Kings.
This could be a good fight here for YZY. Yep, SAS knows it, backs away. He's happy to get the monk that he got. However, gets body blocked on the gold. That could be a one down, maybe. Ooh, it's close. Just escapes. Reinforcements arrive and they double back to attack again.
Relic gets taken yet again. Movement speed arrow.
Ooh, Wolo coming in
here.
And it's been a while since I've seen a big Wolo play like that. I'm trying to think of the last time I've seen like such a high level Wololo pull off that many units.
Oh, nice charge though. At the moment, YZY, he's really balancing his army quite nicely up against the Keshiks. This is the issue with they just don't trade well enough into knights.
No, they really don't.
Oh, King barely survives.
Such good value.
YZY somehow, he got 3 relics.
Yeah, he's been grabbing behind this the entire time. He's lost a monk or 2 along the way, but he has grabbed a good chunk there. I still see 3 relics on the map. Are there 6 relics on this map?
Yeah, there are 6 relics.
Huh.
It's like 1 bonus relics if you take water.
Bonus relic on the whole island.
Relic.
Okay. Today I learned. Alright, that's like the 3rd monk I think I've seen YZY lose this game. That is starting to add up. He has gotten the relics, the majority of the relics, well, a half of the relics technically.
That's charging once again. YZY, he doesn't have the 2nd step prepared yet. He does have the knights. He doesn't have anything against the crossbows yet. This fight, though, doesn't look that bad. He's able to clear up all of the Keshiks.
And now he's on top of the crossbows.
The Keshiks are still so low.
This is a great fight for YZY. Loses the king, but I think you take that to sweep off the crossbows.
Easily.
He is managing to take some really good fights here. I was saying it's an uphill battle for him, and he's really threading that needle nicely.
Yeah, it's just the power of knights, or rather the lack of power of Keshiks. SAS, even though he had way more Keshiks than YZY had knights, he just wasn't able to win the fights.
These units we see right here is it for YZY. This is his entire military mass, and he is making them work. He is just using them to the fullest extent that he can.
The charge through. Trading out the knights. Has to be so careful though. Loses 2 there just for 1 Keshik. SAS, his food income, it's looking rather swell, but somehow YZY is at 2.4k food per minute, while SAS with all the fishing is only at 1.4k. The power of the farms and the deer that are gonna run out soon though. Wait, YZY, is he just going imp? He's just gonna go imp here. He's about to hit Imperial Age.
It's insane. That could, I mean, could that work? I guess it could. Like,
he's got the cold in the corner, right? Like, the question is what he's gonna age up with, though. He's actually gonna Berkshire this. Interesting. The Berkshire is gonna buy him the safety that he needs in order to just get upgrades like enclosures in. Once he gets enclosures in with this many farms, he's gonna be set.
That's true. Gold will no longer be an issue. And he's gonna have food.
Especially since he's got 3 relics as well, right? Like 3 relics and enclosures. That's very good. Oh, the villagers though. You can't lose them like that.
Not like this, not like this. Need them up a little longer here. Right now it's 89, 82 as far as economy count. Need to keep that as close as you can considering you don't have water. And that Berkshire, there's no running from that. That knight with an inch of his life left. And immediately clicks on the closures.
Make their way out alive. Yeah, it's just the one tech, right, that is gonna absolutely propel you forward, even if you're like stuck inside your base. SAS, though, he's preparing for his own age up behind this. And we can never forget that the Kaganet Palace, it's one of the landmarks of all time.
Yep, it's a landmark.
It's a landmark that, like, one of the landmarks that exists in Age of Empires 4. There's multiple. Kaganet is one of them.
And it happens to be with the Mongols, you know. It just so happens.
World High just getting kind of parked right in front of the base here from YZY, and he's just gonna start torching.
He has to. He needs to get damage. He needs to punish this defensive play from YZY. The tricky thing is, though, is that if YZY can just hold out another minute or 2, I do think English has a much better Imperial Age than Mongols. The question is,
I'm not sure about that.
I think they do, but if he's got to get there in a position of power, though. And if having your relic torched down doesn't feel good.
The thing is that Mongols get access to some units that are just broken by design, with especially the Mangudai in Imperial Age. Oh, the keep is getting built.
And see, that's tricky, is this dive right here. I still think YZY English has an edge in Imperial Age, but you don't get any kind of edge if this is what's happening as you try and get up in age.
Yeah, the issue here for YZY is that the Keshiks, they're just healing the damage that comes out from the TC there. So YZY, he needs to focus fire onto the crossbow specifically. He can't kill the Keshiks reliably, and now the H-up has come in for SAS as well.
And this is where the wheels might fall off finally.
DC about to go down.
Hold. Well, the Berkshire is in such an awkward position at the edge of the map. It's defending a lot.
Doesn't protect that much,
Yeah, it really doesn't.
It could have protected more.
I mean,
Farms coming in.
A good third of its ability is eaten up in dead map space where no unit can go. You really want that thing able to cover as much of the map as possible.
Yeah. You have some knights here now. Hand cannon is coming in for YZY together with more knights. He did get elite upgrade on the knights, or modern placement in now as well. But all of these buildings here, SAS, he's even getting the bounty upgrade behind this. He's going to be able to just start burning down a lot of buildings here. Now he's also going to start stealing the relics.
Yeah, I think this game might just be over. It was a good effort from YZY. And there definitely was a moment where it felt like he was doing so much with so little. But the timing push proved supreme, as GG is sure enough called.
GG.
SAS will take the series 2-1. But hey, YZY making a good showing here.
Yeah, definitely. For his first set, like in any tournament, that was definitely a very nice just first performance here that we have gotten from YZY up against SAS, who at this point in time is very much established in the scene, I want to say.
Yeah. I'm definitely excited to see more of YZY in the future. And, you know, I feel like SAS might be sighing a bit of a sigh of relief there. There was a moment there where it felt like even though he had won water, that game was not going... That was not a comfortable win, so to speak. Like that, there was a moment there where it felt very precarious. So I'm sure SAS is signing. I mean, imagine like winning water and then losing the game. That would feel really bad. SAS, though, does take the win. Moves on. But yeah, YZY, I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen today.
Yeah, indeed. Like this was a very great performance for him. I even liked like the macro play on water here, considering just, as we mentioned, this is his first tournament after all.